Hi guys, Gerald here. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys about this concept of leverage, okay, which is very important in trading cryptocurrencies, as well as certain misconceptions people have about it, okay, and also pretty much how to use leverage to your advantage as well. Okay, so let me dive right down into this topic right now. Okay, so first question I have for you guys, okay, with regards to leverage. Okay, so you can see over here on my screen right now, I have two options. Okay, option one, okay, where I use 3x leverage, and option two, okay, where I use 10x leverage. Okay, so I have a question for you guys, okay, but before I move on to that question as well, okay, to explain leverage for those who don't know it, is pretty much in a way like borrowing money from your bank, okay, and allowing you to buy more than the actual money you actually have. Okay, so in this case, for scenario one, let's say I got $10,000. Using 3x leverage, I'm allowed to buy up to $30,000. Whereas if let's say I use 10x leverage, I can buy up to $100,000. Okay, but the keyword that I want you guys to focus on that I just said is this keyword called up to. Okay, so it means you can buy up to 30,000, or let's say you can buy up to $100,000 for option two. But something I want to ask you guys is that, okay, the first question I have for you guys to clarify some misconceptions is option one or option two, which one do you guys think is riskier? Okay, buying up to in a way being allowed to buy up to 30,000, okay, or buying up to 100,000. Okay, so some of you guys might say, okay, in your head, okay, if I'm using 10x leverage, okay, it means that I'm pretty much taking on more risk. Okay, it means that that is actually more riskier. Okay, so my answer to this is actually no. Okay, option one or option two, pretty much the risk is the same. Okay, what is more important, okay, is actually how much you buy. Okay, so how much you buy is more important. Okay, so in this case, to go even deeper into what I mean by how much, okay, in this case is your position sizing. Okay, for those who want a clearer concept or simple explanation, is pretty much how much Ethereum you buy or how much Bitcoin you buy for a trade is more important, okay, than how much leverage you use for a trade. Okay, so why do I say this? Okay, let me give you guys a very simple layman example in terms of using apples and let's say cash, for example. Okay, so in the same scenario, okay, let's say in this case I have $5. Okay, and let's say I borrow another $10. Okay, so I have $5 which is mine, and I borrow $10 from the bank. Okay, in this case it allows me to buy, okay, or in this case it's my 3x leverage. Okay, but with this, let's say $15, okay, I go and buy 5 apples. Okay, buy 5 apples. Okay, in another scenario, right? Let's say I have $5 and I go and borrow from the bank $45. Okay, in this case, this one refers to my 10x leverage. Okay, and then in the same scenario, I go and buy 5 apples as well. Okay, can you see that even though one is 3x leverage, okay, and another one is 10x leverage, okay, at the end of the day, okay, what is more important? Can you see how much I buy is more important? Okay, can you see that position is more important? And pretty much how much I buy actually determines how much I'm risking. Okay, so you can see that at the end of the day, both in these scenarios, okay, because I only have 5 apples, okay, let's say all of these apples rot, okay, let's say all of these apples are bad. At the end of the day, how much do I lose? Okay, I will only lose the 5 apples that I bought. Okay, but can you see, in this scenario, I'm using how much leverage? Okay, in this scenario, I'm using 3x leverage, but in this scenario, I'm using 10x leverage. By the end of the day, how much I'm risking, okay, is the same, which is this 5 apples. Okay, so going back to a scenario with, let's say we apply this to cryptocurrencies instead. Okay, can you see that with what I said earlier? Okay, in terms of how much you buy and your position sizing is more important. Okay, so let's give an example using Ethereum instead. Okay, so let's say with the apples example, now we buy 5 Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum is about 2.5k right now. So pretty much, okay, this is worth about 12.5k USD. Okay, so can you see pretty much using the same Apple's example, and now we compare it to Ethereum. Okay, the risk amount, okay, or the amount at risk at any point in time, okay, doesn't matter which leverage you choose to use, is 12.5k USD. Okay, so now can you make the link? You can see that what I said with regards to how much you buy / your position sizing is more important than your leverage amount. Okay, in a way, it's your leverage amount, okay, or leverage that you set, okay, controls how much you can buy up to. So let's say for 3x, it allows you to buy up to 30,000, okay. For 10x, it allows you to buy up to 100,000. Okay, but when we are trading, you can see that usually we are never ever using your full leverage amount. Okay, or never pretty much, in a way, using the full amount allocated to you, okay, for a single trade. Okay, so that's what I mean by what's more important is how much you buy and your position sizing. Okay, why? Okay, it's because then that determines your risk percentage, or how much dollars you have at risk. Okay, so let's say in this example, okay, if you hold your 5 Ethereum all the way to 0, okay, when you buy it at, let's say, 2.6k or 2.5k, then your risk amount will be 12.5k USD. Which means that if you buy 5 Ethereum and you hold it all the way to 0, your full amount at risk is 12.5k USD. Okay, but let me introduce a second concept to you guys, okay, which also ties with regards to leverage, is that, okay, when we trade, okay, let's say we trade cryptocurrencies or we trade in general, is that we have this scenario, or we have this thing called your stop loss. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, pretty much for those who don't know what stop loss mean, is that we will exit before it goes to 0. Okay, so pretty much what we do as traders is that we will always exit. Let's say if a trade goes wrong, okay, we won't hold all the way to 0. Okay, which is what some people do when they do investments. Okay, so with this concept in mind, okay, it allows us to pretty much, let's say, buy 5 Ethereum worth 12.5k USD, but at any point, my risk amount is only, for example, $500. Okay, then second question that some of you guys might have right now, Gerald, how come I can only, or let's say, how come I can buy an asset with 12.5k USD, okay, but at any point in time, I will only lose $500. Okay, so remember, I introduced to you guys a concept called stop loss earlier. Okay, and how you can use this in your trades. Okay, so as you can see, let me give you guys another example. Okay, with the same thing, okay, with apples as well. Okay, so you can see, let's say, okay, I'm buying, let's say, one apple again. Okay, but in this case, we're not talking about the stock. Okay, we're talking about one apple. Okay, and let's say I buy it at $10. Okay, and then I say, I have a price in my head, okay, that says that, let's say I'm speculating on this one apple price. Okay, I know this apple very expensive. Okay, but it's just for example 6. Okay, so you can follow on with me. So let's say this apple, right? I have a predetermined exit point that I say that I'll sell it back to the market if it drops all the way to $8. So in this case, my stop loss will be $8. Okay, it means that what? If the apple, or the price of this apple, drops to $8, okay, I will sell it back to the market, or in the cryptocurrency terms or trading terms, is I'm exiting the trade. Okay, so can you see, if I buy at $10 and I'll exit at $8 no matter what, okay, can you see how much potentially is at risk at any one point in time? Okay, it's pretty much the difference between these two, okay, which is actually $2. So pretty much, although I'm using $10, okay, to buy this one apple, can you see that I have only $2 at risk at any point in time? Okay, you can see that. Let's say if I buy 10 apples instead, okay, how much will it cost? Okay, it will cost $100, okay, using this example. And same thing, okay, if I have my stop loss, okay, at $8 again, okay, but one of these apple costs $10 lah. So what does it mean? Okay, you can see that at any point in time, okay, because if one apple, my risk is $2, actually my risk amount for this trade, okay, let's say if I do sell it back to the market, at any point in time is actually only $20. So can you see, okay, although I'm using a capital of $100 to, let's say, do this trade, at any point in time, my risk is much lesser. Okay, so that's why stop losses are important when trading. Okay, so let me just quiz you guys with one last thing, okay, with regards to what I've just covered, okay, and also to link it to, let's say, an Ethereum trade, for example, okay, is that pretty much when we are trading, okay, even if, let's say, in earlier example, I bought 5 Ethereum, here is 5 ETH, right? Okay, although I'm buying 12.5k USD of an asset class in this case, okay, let's say, okay, 1 Ethereum right now is at $2,500, okay, but I have a stop loss at $2,400 instead. Okay, can y'all see, for every 1 Ethereum I buy, okay, with regards to what I covered earlier, how much is my risk per Ethereum? Okay, I think you guys will know the answer already. So if 1 Ethereum, my risk will be $100. Why? It is the difference between where you enter the trade, okay, versus where you will exit the trade if you are wrong. So for 1 Ethereum, pretty much my risk amount will be $100, okay, as you can see. Okay, so let's say we scale it up to 5 Ethereum. Okay, so the same example just now. I buy one apple for $10. Okay, but my risk amount is only $2 because I'll exit the trade at $8. Okay, if I scale it up, okay, 10 apples. Okay, my risk amount is only $20. Okay, which is a percentage. Okay, or it's not even the full amount of how much I buy. Now we apply it to the Ethereum case. Okay, you can see that if I buy 5 Ethereum, okay, my capital needed in a way is 12.5k USD. Okay, or my capital outlay is 12.5k USD. Okay, but pretty much the amount at risk, okay, with 1 Ethereum, okay, because I have a stop loss at 2,400 is $100. So pretty much with this 12.5k USD, okay, my risk amount for this trade is actually only $500. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this now. Okay, the only time the full amount will be at risk, okay, if you guys can see over here, is pretty much if you have no stop loss and you hold all the way to $0. Okay, so I can use 12.5k USD, I can actually buy something worth 12.5k USD, but at any point in time, okay, my risk is only $500. Okay, that is in a way one of the beauties of crypto. Okay, another thing to take note of, okay, is that crypto pretty much trades 24/7, okay, unlike the stock market. Okay, so you can see that your stop losses will always be respected. Okay, so I'll just circle stop loss over here. Okay, so pretty much means what? If I set a stop loss $50 below, it will always go down $50 below, or I will always exit the trade $50 below. If I set a stop loss $100 below, I will always exit the trade $100 below. Okay, the same cannot be said for the stock market because it doesn't trade 24/7, okay, and it only trades 5 days a week. So sometimes there's this thing called gapping up and gapping down. Okay, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, pretty much it's like when you see, let's say you see Apple or Nvidia, right? Overnight, okay, it dropped from $140 to, let's say, $100 to $120 to $100. That is something called like a gap down. Okay, why? Because it starts here, okay, and then the next day it starts over here. Okay, this is your gap, right? That's why it's called a gap down. Okay, but for gap ups and gap downs, okay, this cannot happen in crypto. That's why in a way, okay, if you remember in the first video, I was saying about how actually risk in crypto is misunderstood. Okay, so I hope this video gives you guys more clarity with regards to risk, okay, leverage, and how pretty much you can use it to your advantage, and it's cleared up some misunderstandings that you guys might have with regards to cryptocurrencies in general and cryptocurrencies trading. Okay, if not, I'll cover more basic stuff in my next videos as well. Okay, pretty much in terms of things like how to buy cryptocurrencies with Binance. Okay, some of the cheapest way I do it and some of the best ways I would recommend. Okay, if not, thank you guys for watching this video and I'll see you guys in the next one.